Hey YouTube, this is my review of the Rockford Fosgate Punch 300 P300-12, which is a 12-inch powered subwoofer that I installed into my 2014 Jeep Unlimited. Um, this is a shot of what it looks like. Hopefully that's not all washed out in the sun there. You can see my wires coming up through there. Here's the side of the sub. Doesn't take up that much room in the back. And I'll talk a little bit about my decision here and the installation process. So I wanted a system that I could put in to the Jeep that would basically just make everything still look factory except for the sub itself. And I agonized over the decision like everybody does. But we kept the factory deck, of course. In fact, the only thing we've changed about this system is we put new speakers into the sound bar, which everybody does because they're garbage. That's about a 10-minute switch out. It's very easy. I just bought those on Craigslist. I don't even remember what they were, or Alpines or Infinities or something. Other than that, the system's totally factory. Down here you can see there's a little remote control that runs back to the sub itself that controls your sub, how much output you're putting on the sub. The sub is a 300-watt self-powered. It's got an amplifier inside it. Rockford Fosgate certainly has been making subs forever, so they know what they're doing. And to be honest, it sounds amazing. So that's the remote there. So let's start in the front with what we did to install this. I bought it on Crutchfield. I think it was $269 total for everything. It was $199 for the sub on super special deal, and I think anyway all told with the install kit and stuff was 269 bucks. So don't have much money in it considering what you get bang for your buck. But Crutchfield is gonna hook you up with used a Rockford Fosgate. This is the power cord that goes from the front to the back. This is the RCA line that you have to hook up in the back of the factory deck and run it to the sub. There's a blue line that is your power turn on that has to be run to the back. You have to get some 12-volt power. I don't have the original system with the Alpine system with power turn on, so you have to run a blue line for that. And then of course you got to find a ground to hook it up to. So we'll talk about all that. I'm not going to show you obviously step by step what we did for the install. This is just kind of an overview of what I did and what the result was to help you out making a decision if you're thinking about doing this kind of an upgrade. So this is the wiring kit that came. Crutchfield put all this together and threw it in my basket for me. This is a little set of a pair of RCA adapters that you have to basically just screw into your speaker wires on the back of your stereo once you get your dash apart. Which is pretty easy. There's lots of videos out there to tell you how to take your dash off. It takes about 5 minutes to take the dash off of a Jeep Unlimited. And then these little things are pretty cool. The Crutchfield guy hooked me up with these. These are little taps. There's a little screw. This one doesn't have one on here, but all you do is when you want to hook up a speaker wire to run another wire out of it, you screw this in. It squeezes down on your speaker wire. And then you cram the other end of the RCA adapters is what I used it for. You just put them in here like this, jam it in there and squeeze it in, and it makes a great connection, kind of like a Scotch clip does, but it's reversible. If you just undo this, then the poker comes out, and if you screw up, you can just move them around. So those are really handy to have. They're called Tappets by Positap, something like that. This was the original plan from Crutchfield to get my 12-volt power for power turn on, because there is no remote turn on for the amp in the back of the factory deck. But this didn't work out. This is normally if you had these size fuses, you could just stick this in here and you'd get a little wire and you could get power turn on for 12 volt. Anyway, needless to say, that didn't work out. I'll explain what I did there. And then the last couple things you need are just a regular old set of crimps so you can strip wires, and these little plastic doodads I went ahead and got because it does make taking your dash apart a little bit easier, but you frankly don't need them. These little pry things will help you get your little tabs off, but if you watch other videos on YouTube, you'll see you just grab the front of your dash and it pops right off. So other things I used, quite a bit of this stuff here, which is just standard, crap you can get at Target or Walmart or whatever, or any, Best Buy, and zip ties to clean it all up. So let's start in the front here with the wiring that we had to run. I took my time and did this. It took me a grand total of about, I would say, 7 or 8 hours, something like that, to do it. I don't know how well you can see up under there, but right there is the positive. This cable kit comes over there in the crest. This is the Rockford Fosgate kit. You just run a positive wire right here. It comes with a really nice inline fuse, and then I dressed it all up with the wire covering stuff there. You run that across the front, really easy. Right here it is, all dressed up, and it runs right down into the hole in the firewall right there, just like you're wiring anything. I didn't, when I took this apart, I didn't take any of these door kicks off here. I literally ran them down the whole side of the doorway with just tucking them in there. You can pull the carpet out really easy anywhere in the Jeep. Up under here, if I needed to go here, I just pulled the carpet back a little bit, tucked it under there. Some people I've seen when they're doing installs, they start taking all this stuff off here, and that just makes it rattle, in my opinion. You can get there's like a room to stick your finger under here, right in through here. So I don't see any reason to pull all these kicks off here. When you take your dash off, you get all this, you get access to this, and your radio comes out there. It's a little bit of a pain to get your power windows out of there, but once you get all that off there, it takes about 5-8 minutes. Then you have pretty good access all across the front, and getting the wires to the back is just not that big a deal. You just run them through the creases and stick them under the carpet. So back of the stereo is where you do most of the hooking up. You have to figure out which ones are, I hooked my RCA adapters for my power out to the sub up to my left front and right rear speaker wires. And if you Google it online, there's a color chart, and you got to figure out which one's positive, negative. Make sure you keep that straight. Not that big a deal. I use those little posi taps and I stuck them in there. And then I hooked up my RCA on that side because you want to keep your speaker wire running separate from your power wires. So my power wires, I ran, like I said, down that side. All the speaker stuff I ran down here. So the RCAs, once you get them hooked up to your deck, you run them down there, you run them across here. I ran them underneath the carpet, and then back to here. So when you get right here, you got to watch out, because you can, if you get anywhere in this moving mechanism stuff, obviously you'll cut up your wiring. So you just got to be a little careful right there. Not that big of a deal, frankly. You just keep it out of the way and make sure it doesn't get rubbed on in there. So everything else, like I said, I just went along here, tucked it up under here, no big deal. Pull the carpet up, stick the wires under the carpet, kind of thing. And it sounds easy, but it actually takes hours to do if you want to do it right and make it look good. So here we go, Kyle. Can you hold this again so I can show them how to take the sub out? So the reason I chose this sub is because it had really good reviews. Kyle's going to hold on to that for me. Let me get up in here. This sub, like I said, Rockford Fosgate makes an incredible product. It's Velcroed down here a little bit so it doesn't slide around, but it's really, really easy to take out. All you got to do is just disconnect your RCAs, disconnect your remote, grab on your power block, and voila, your sub is out. And that's all you've got right there. So if you're going to go to the store or whatever, you got the top off like I do, you got the doors off, you don't want somebody walking away with it, you just disconnect it, chuck it in the garage. Whenever you want to put it back in, you just set it back in there. All right, where it goes, there's actually a kind of a lip there from the flip door. And then make sure you get your polarity right here on your RCAs again. I don't know if that matters. And plug in your remote and stick your power block back in here. And you're back in, and your sub's ready to go. Obviously, this is in the way if you're going to take, if you're going to push down the seats and put in a bunch of skis or something like that. But you still got this side here. You can always flip down right. And it only takes 10 seconds to take the thing out. So it makes it really easy. Anyway, so I chose this sub, like I said, because it had really great reviews. I have to tell you, it is incredible by standards, for considering what money you spend in it, the difference it makes in your factory sound. I'll see if I can. I don't know what it's going to sound like on the phone, but I'll just give you a listen here. Baby got back. Now I'll grant you that probably sounds like crap on YouTube because it's my Droid phone, but let me tell you, it thumps. So that's it. That's the review. Obviously I didn't do a step-by-step of putting it in here or anything crazy like that, but my next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to manufacture a bar that might go over the top of the sub itself and bolt down here up and over to try to get it to not walk away from me if I leave it if I have the top off and I go to the mall or whatever. So if I end up manufacturing that, I'll post a video. So that's it. Hope it helps you out. Thanks.